Hello there, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is ChitChad. Welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster, where we are working on the Chatterbox Studios theme park. Today we are going to continue working on the taxi coaster, and a lot gets done in this episode. We're going to be working on lighting the queue, lighting the overall ride. We're going to be adding some new scenic elements. We are also going to be editing the track of the ride itself. We're going to be adding a cool new section where the ride goes through one of the buildings. We are also going to add a photo booth, quote unquote photo booth, because there isn't actually one in Planet Coaster, inside of the building itself. We're also going to make a couple of staff buildings because I realized my staff were getting very unmotivated because they didn't have a break room. So we create a couple of those, work on the backstage area a little bit. We make some custom supports for the coaster, and we also make a custom a brake track area where if the ride for whatever reason would break down, they would be able to exit the ride vehicle from that point. So we're going to be adding a staircase and a platform for that, which is actually kind of funny because during building that part, the ride actually did break down right as I was building it. So I'm creating the platform and then the ride just starts, its cycle of being broken while waiting for a maintenance crew member to go check it out. I just thought that was really funny. I actually verbally laughed during that part while I was building this. So yeah, lots of things to do in today's episode. So you're going to see a lot of cuts as there was a lot of footage for this episode, and some of it was rather repetitive, so I cut it up just a little bit so you didn't see me placing down the same item a million times. And so like just right there is a cut and you can see these very disgruntled employees. I felt so bad. I didn't even realize that they, now that there are the staff buildings that they require them almost in order to maintain their excitement for working in the park. I was upping their salary and all sorts of stuff and it wasn't doing anything. So I was like, forgot about the staff buildings. Forgot that's a new thing. I haven't had to do that yet. Cool addition. Actually, speaking of additions, holy cow, the news bomb dropped today about the new Planet Coaster update. Let me actually pull that up because I wanted to talk about it. Planet Coaster, totally not typing while I'm recording. Planet Coaster update, boom. Let's see here. That would be under their forms. Yes, we'll go to the forms. Heading to the polls. The free 1.8 update. Man, this thing had so much in it. Right off the bat, we have more firework options. It looks like we're going to be able to use iconography and also text, which is freaking cool. New scenery items. It looks like they're adding some more vending machines, which is really cool. The example that they used for the photo was a Missy Good donut vending machine, which looks super high tech and awesome. One of the things I actually cut out of this episode is that we added some vending machines throughout the park. Those were placed in just some empty areas that I thought would look really cool. Doors are now going to have more trigger availability, so you can actually say how long you want the doors to be open and when you want them to close, which is great because they used to just be whenever they felt like it. Oh, not really whenever they felt like, just the timing of their animation. So now you're gonna have more control over those, which is really cool. Customize the operations staff, which is really awesome. So we're gonna be able to kind of not only theme the park, but we're gonna be able to theme the staff members, which is really cool. Coaster improvements. And there's some more additions like audio effects being triggerable in that you can change their pitch, their octaves, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, the much talked about ability in the future that we're going to be able to import our own 3D objects and animations tied to said objects, which blows the doors wide open on Planet Coaster. This was the thing that everyone was talking about, like, and if it happened, it was the game over. In that there's like, this is the thing. This is the biggest thing they could possibly do. I know I was impressed that we were able to incorporate video screens and animations, but now we're going to be able to incorporate 3D custom objects with animation attached that is also triggerable. That is insane. That is amazing. So much so that I've actually dusted off the old 3D modeling skills, and I'm going to be jumping back into it because it's been a very long time since I've had the opportunity to 3D model and animate. Yeah, I've been thinking about like what was the last thing I ever did in 3D, and I think it was like I know exactly what it was. It was a background for Benny and Francis. A long time ago, I was working on that cartoon with a couple of other people, and we were building out the sets in 3D because we figured it would be a lot easier to make those in 3D than to draw them each time. And I created the ship that they were living in at the time because it's kind of like a sci-fi series. That's completely changed. The story's changed. Everything's changed about the entirety of it. But at the time, they were in a ship, and it was completely built in 3D, the interior and the exterior. So that was the last time I worked in 3D, but now I'm just like super excited to jump back into it. So I downloaded Blender, and I've been looking at some tutorials to kind of freshen the skill set. Plus Blender's a little bit different. I worked primarily in Maya and 3ds Max with the preference of Maya, but those two programs have become so closely associated with each other, they might as well be the same program at this point. But I can't afford that price tag. That is a hefty price tag to pay. I talked about it a little bit in the newest animation video on my main channel, which is the 3D Mario coin that I made inside of After Effects. Feel free to check that out. It's the coin that we utilize for the Super Mario theme park over in the Wario arcade section. So really happy with how that turned out, but now I just want to create all sorts of things in 3D. Like I said, this opens up the floodgates for so many customized options and theming for your park. Very cool of Frontier to add that. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. One other thing I want to talk about is the signage contest that ended over on my Discord. If you want to check out the Discord, there are links down in the description below. We're having contests for this park. There will be another contest in the future. I have a couple ideas, but I'm still working them out. As far as the contest that just ended, there's a couple of days left to vote on it, which you will find the channel in the Discord that is set for the voting. Currently, the top three, I guess the top four, because we're actually tied at the moment. The top four coming in first place at the moment is the Me KO Arcade by Spooky Rick. Absolutely love it. It's awesome. The second place right now is Chatterbox Gifts by Phileas. Really cool. And then the two that are tied in third place at this moment are the Matrix VR Arcade by Shad Inc. and the Taxi Runaway by Roz the Dev. I also want to give a shout out again to Halloween Potato and Matt MC123 for also submitting into the contest. Thank you all so much. There's a couple more days left to vote, so be sure to check out the Discord and vote for those that you want to win. And then of course I answer questions that are on my Discord, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to answer a few of those. I did get a couple of messages about questions that I've either missed or didn't answer. Please understand that there are just some questions that I'm not going to be able to answer, or if I accidentally miss some, it's not that I'm trying to miss them, it's just genuinely that I kind of forget which ones I've answered. So please don't take it too personally. I understand the frustration if your question doesn't get picked, but just know that I try to get to them and I try to be as fair as possible when picking questions to answer. So I appreciate the understanding and the patience, so thank you very much. The first question that I'm going to read, we'll work our way from the bottom of the list. The first one is from Shad Inc. Hey ChitChad, I'm sure you already thought of this, but just in case, Krusty Krab in the cartoon area of Chatterbox Studios? Question mark. Thank you for your question, Shad Inc. I'm actually not a huge SpongeBob fan. I watched that show during its first 2 seasons and then kind of lost interest after that. I've seen a couple of episodes since then, but it's never been something that really caught my interest. There were, like I say that, but there were a couple of episodes that really, had me laughing. I remember there was this one where they were all staring at a fire underwater, and then I think it was either SpongeBob or Patrick that was just like, how is there fire underwater? And then the fire just went out. Like, stuff like that just really cracks me up. I mean, they do those very zoomed in, disturbing Ren and Stimpy style close-ups, which are really funny. Like the whole, I don't need it, I don't need it, I need it! Like, that stuff just cracks me up. So I do appreciate SpongeBob. I think it's got some wonderful animation, but it's just kind of not my jam. But it would be fun to make the Krusty Krab because it is pretty iconic. So thank you for your question. I really appreciate it. The next one comes from Future 1000. At ChitChad, have you ever considered doing anything anime related to the studio park? Also, what's your favorite anime? 5 at the most is in the challenge. I think that means being challenged to pick 5 anime that I really like. yeah, there's actually going to be a anime area. I think I talked about that in either a previous video or I had it listed out in the contest. I am planning on doing something that's Ruby themed. I would like to do something that's Ruby themed, which I guess is kind of an American anime. And I want to do something that's My Hero Academia related because I am super into that show right now. In fact, as of recording this, I'm going to be seeing the movie with my girlfriend, and I'm really excited for it. And I love that show. It's so good. So if Ruby doesn't count as an anime because it's technically made in the States, I would have to say my favorites are Gurren Lagann, Cowboy Bebop. I would also have to throw in My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Z, the original Gundam Wing, and if I had to go further, let's see here. Ooh, I really like Fooly Cooly, very cool animation style. Ooh, and Outlaw Star is also one that I really like. So I like a lot of sci-fi ones, I'm realizing. And I don't mean for that to happen. I guess it's just kind of how it happens. A lot of it was due to Toonami. I watched a lot of it on Toonami. That was like the only go-to for anime when I was growing up. So that's kind of where it all stemmed from. So yeah, those are kind of my favorites. I'm sure there's other ones that I'm not thinking of at the moment because there's a lot, and I watch a lot of them with my friend Caitlin. She introduced me to a lot of different anime. Especially when we have art nights. Normally we have something that's anime related playing in the background, so I get introduced to a lot of stuff that way. And a lot of stuff I had no idea about. Like, she's the one that introduced me to Gurren Lagann, and I was just like, oh my god, this is the most amazing thing ever! I love that show. I've watched it maybe 3 or 4 times all the way through. I mean, it's only 2 seasons, but still, it's a lot of episodes to get through. And I think that's gonna have to do it for the questions on this episode, because we're actually getting close to the end of the episode. So I'm building out the platform, like I said, and just wait for it, because the coaster is gonna break any moment now. There it is, there it goes, boom, it's broken. I thought that was so funny as I was making this platform. I'm actually gonna make another one in the next episode over where the coaster interacts with the buildings. I think we might wanna add another custom staircase in that area as well. So we'll be finishing up on the next episode, probably finishing up the taxi coaster in general on the next episode. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate it. And as always, I will chat with you on the next episode.